Breakdown of the potential track of this hurricane.
Senior hurricane specialist Brian Norcross is making sure you know every possible scenario.
Alex and Dave, it's been quite dramatic as we've watched this thing sink toward the Bahamas. It's just gotten stronger and stronger. The hurricane hunters flying through it, and while they were flying through it, it was getting stronger with every pass. And now we have a 130-mile-an-hour hurricane as of the last advisory at 2 o'clock. And there's some indication it might even be stronger than that now. We'll wait the new advisory coming up here at the top of the hour, or maybe even the next half hour. Okay, here we are, 130 miles an hour as of the 2 o'clock advisory from the Hurricane Center. 936 millibars in the pressure. It's the lowest pressure we've had in the Atlantic in 6 years, and southwest at 6. So southwest is kind of deeper into the Bahamas. They are just getting battered down there. Wait till you see the close-up here. So here you see the islands in play. It's these middle islands right in here, and the most populated islands, Nassau up there, Freeport, Eleuthera, are on the fringe of it. They have hurricane warnings up, but so far so good in the northwestern part of the Bahamas. Now look really close up here, and let me just step over here and show you the latest satellite picture. Look at that eye there. We think we see, since the hurricane hunters were there, the eye continuing to shrink. A shrinking eye means a strengthening storm, and this area right in there, that's the part that the core of the hurricane, and so all those islands there are just relentlessly battered. There you see where the moisture is, but the key thing here for the U.S. is we have a hurricane, but we also have this big, powerful dip in the jet stream. Now, it doesn't look like much. It looks like kind of a standard dip, but there's a lot of energy in there, and this energy is going to affect the East Coast. This energy is going to move north off the East Coast and kind of feed into it and enhance what's going on over here. So it's really two separate things. It's a complicated situation to describe. The end result is you can't just concentrate on the cone in terms of where the weather is going to be. The National Hurricane Center is saying that the storm will actually intensify a little bit through tomorrow as it's near the Bahamas, and then begin moving to the north, weakening some. And the latest indications I'll show you in a second is that the right-hand side of the cone is favored. But as I said, the bad weather is over here, and the most extreme weather in this next few days is likely to be over here in the southeast, unrelated to any kind of direct effect from the hurricane. Now, I know everybody in the northeast, all the way from Cape Hatteras on up to New England, is looking at this and saying, okay, what's going to happen? What do we do? The bottom line is, except right along the coast, where you just have to be ready for elevated tides and relentlessly onshore winds of maybe 30 miles an hour, in some places a little higher than that, everybody else just needs to hang on and wait, and let's see what happens. Of course, you want to be ready in case the storm were to come that way, but you don't need to get panicky at this point, and you don't really need to do anything. You just need to be ready for any kind of change, because here's why. Look at the models. These are the main models out here. They have made this deflection over to the east. These two over here, which obviously would be very concerning, are the models that we don't put as much credence in. This yellow one would be the most credible because it's the average of them. So we believe that the cone will shift at 5 o'clock. As I say, we'll probably have that here within the hour. So that yellow one is really the one we generally focus on. Why did it change? It changed because yesterday the GFS was being absorbed by that dip in the jet stream. Today, it's not. Today, the dip in the jet stream is causing the bad weather along the coast, but the hurricane is separating itself from that system, and they're very two separate things moving on out, which is just like what the European has been saying. So there's the GFS on Sunday on the current run. There's the European, same idea, being ejected out or maybe heading up that way. So we can't say that the Northeast is going to be completely out of the cone at 5, but we think there will be a shift. We're standing by for that. All right, Alex, back to you. See you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Brian. A reminder, the National Weather Service will release its next update on Joaquin very shortly. 5 o'clock update. You heard Brian mention that, and as soon as we get it, we are going to give you the details. Dave, over to you.
All right, well, now we want to bring in our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, who's analyzing all this moisture that could lead to devastating flooding. Dr. Forbes?
Yeah, Dave, I'm predicting catastrophic flooding in parts of the southeast. Maybe some locations are going to get more than 20 inches of rain between now, especially from tomorrow through Sunday, and that certainly is going to lead to flooding in those locations. Let's take a look. Flood watches, flash flood watches are in effect for South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, parts of adjacent states, including Georgia here, between now through the weekend for that heavy rainfall. Now, let me put it into context. If I say 20 inches are going to fall over the next few days, these are October monthly, total monthly records for a number of locations. Savannah there, 19.84 inches. Greer, South Carolina, 10. So this weekend's rain, if it fell at any of those locations, would equal a month's record. And of course, if falling in that short of a time, it's going to lead to flooding. Now, three ingredients really come together for that. The moisture from Hurricane Joaquin. Look at all the moisture, the winds that are from the east here pushing in toward the coastal areas already on the north side, and that continues as we head into tomorrow. It continues to push in that area. Look how it sort of collides with winds coming in from the northeast. That's a frontal zone, and so that's squeezing together, pushing up, gives from some very heavy rain. Some of that moisture also gets lifted up over top of the cooler air into the interior parts. So we had that kind of moisture continues to pile up in those areas as we get into tomorrow, we get into Saturday. Now here comes the rest of the factor, and this is a big factor. This, what is today a U-shaped pattern in the jet stream, we call it an upper trough. Now, if that stayed in a U-shape, that would be fine. It would just shunt the moisture off to the north. There's Hurricane Joaquin, of course, but the upper trough is not going to stay as a U-shape. It's going to cut off in a closed low, and that is going to slide a little farther to the south and east, and then it's going to stall out. Look at that, Saturday, still stalling around there in the Florida Panhandle. Finally, by Monday, it begins to slide off to the north and east, and as it does so, it will push a lot of the heavy rain offshore with that. So, upper trough, Joaquin, and the moisture flow to the frontal zone in between. There's that moisture flow. South Carolina kind of looks like it could be in the quarter of that, and even a little surface low there in Georgia. So South Carolina might even have a chance of a tornado on Saturday. Here's the rainfall amount. Look at this, 12 to 18 inches in a big portion of South Carolina. Yellows here, 5 inches or more, all the way up to the mid-Atlantic. So any of these locations could get flash flooding. And some of the problem with this could be that it could fall in bands that really concentrate it. On Friday, that could be in parts of eastern North Carolina. As we head then into Saturday, both parts of the Carolinas. So instead of 12 to 18 inches over a wider area, that could be a narrow area that gets maybe double that amount. So that's why I'm saying 20 plus inches, flash flooding, and catastrophic perhaps. Even today we have some flash flooding in Charleston, South Carolina, Maury County in Tennessee. Dave, Alex?
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. We've got much more to come here on Weather Center Live as we continue our conversation about Hurricane Joaquin.
Travelers on the water have to prepare when a tropical storm threatens or a hurricane. Just ahead, how cruise lines track hurricanes and steer clear of tropical threats.
And you'll want to stay with the Weather Channel all weekend. We'll have continuing live coverage of Hurricane Joaquin, in-depth expert analysis, forecasting, live reports, and we'll be watching the potential impacts we could see near the U.S.
Currently in our area, 57 degrees with light rain. Tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, low 51. Friday, periods of rain, high 54. Chance of rain, 80%. Friday night, cloudy with periods of rain, low 47. Rainfall around a ½ inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Defiance is in our bones. News